Hey. Yep. Check 1, 2. Yep. Hey, yeah. Uh-oh. Check 1, 2. I can. Yep.
Hello, and welcome to the Rag Company podcast, where we have a slight camera adjustment. You may notice there was a little bit of a power surge over the weekend, and our great new camera got a little frazzled. So we are going back to the old one just for today.
So now we have to look way up in the sky.
It's way up there. Hello. So yeah, we'll be working around with that, but not to worry. You're still going to get the show. You're going to get us talking about our weekend, what little of it we had to ourselves, and what most of it was, which was a great event. But before we do all that, is there any housekeeping, anything we want to touch on?
Yes.
Okay.
Got a sale coming up this week.
Oh, you know what? I should say this before we start. Wow, I'm totally brain fried. That's Levi Gates.
Hey, it's me.
I'm Dane Hennon. And that guy is Anthony Fisher.
Hey.
And now we're introduced.
There you go.
Oh, there's
look
the
at
guy.
that. Wow.
Perfect.
We're
Those
really
are
behind the eight ball
That's
today,
not
guys.
even my.
Those are our Instagram handles.
No,
you can
it's
go
not.
to them and
Literally
get
not
to
in my
know
handle.
us.
Yep.
It's a
They
great
have
way
they
taken
to
figured it
see
out.
more
another guy's
information
handle
Nope,
about
and
us.
put it underneath my name.
Why
That
did
is
you,
not me.
Why did you do that, Anthony?
That's not. That's literally. I told him it's Anthony with 2 Y's, Fisher with 2 R's. That's my Instagram.
You know, after a while, when people start to confuse the two that much, it becomes a little suspicious.
Well, I think he's doing that for more views for himself. He's
that makes sense.
If I put this,
I need to
people
bump up
think
the
it's
follower
me.
count
well, yeah,
on
because
my
that guy,
Instagram.
that guy's got it down. I mean,
2
he knows what
Y's,
he's
2
doing.
R's. That's it,
All
man.
right, 2 Y's,
This
2
guy's
R's.
still
There you
figuring
go.
it out.
All right.
Anyway, what's up, guys?
So we do this week. Coming this week, we have a sale. 4th of July sale.
Of course.
Launching, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday. So the easiest way to find out, we were going to talk about it, on our live Thursday Q&A. But also go into the ragcompany.com and sign it up for the details newsletter.
Wow.
If you haven't signed up already. And
That's where you find out first.
yeah, and you'll also get, if it's your first time signing up, you get a 15% off coupon.
Come on.
Insane.
That is good for one time only.
Right off the bat.
But we give you a little something, and it's something that actually can be used on a lot of products, which is really great. So we're gonna have a 20% off sale for 4th of July weekend.
Oh
So
my gosh.
save your ducats for this weekend. And we also got a couple little packs and kits that we're throwing in there, as well as probably some stickers, maybe.
Ooh, stickers.
Okay.
Custom stickers,
Custom
maybe?
stickers.
Limited stickers,
Limited
maybe?
edition
Something like
stickers.
That?
So
It's
this
exciting.
is usually the year we
It's
give
fun.
out a flag, our Rag Company flag sticker, and Nate usually comes up with a pretty new design every year, but we'll see what he comes up with this year. If it's a refresh or a redo.
No, it's completely
It's completely redone?
I've seen
Levi,
a teaser. It looks cool.
You're gonna
and
love this
very
one.
different.
I'm very excited to find out about this
You're
sticker.
going to love this one. This is a shirt-worthy.
It makes
wow.
me want to throw on a pair of pit vipers.
I
Yeah.
also agree.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm very
What do
intrigued.
you say all 3 of us get some Pit Vipers for next week's show?
I think, how much do they cost?
$150.
Yeah, they're not
That's
cheap.
I don't have that kind of money.
Not
for
me
that,
either.
so.
So
Fi-
maybe we can
You
get
find
some
some
from
knockoff
Alibaba.
ones.
Maybe.
Knockoffs. It's Pit Wiper.
Yeah, they're just called Speep Vipers.
But,
Okay, anyway.
So this past weekend, I hope you guys tuned in, got to watch the Rap Institute live that we did on Saturday. Thank you to those that stuck through the entire production. There was about 30 of them that stayed on and watched live from
You
from
guys
2
are
to 8.
dedicated. There was
That
there
was
was
amazing.
32. Like 32 was the lowest number of regular constantly viewing viewers that were on there. I don't know if it was the same 32 the whole time, but it never went below that.
Yeah,
I was
I think
really
I think
impressed.
we're giving a little bit too much credit. Don't you think that these people could have potentially just turned on their screen and let it run
Possibly,
and walked
but
away?
think about
Trying to
killing that battery.
encourage that.
I mean, I'm just saying, but I'm saying it that if you guys wanted to do that in the future, just leave on a screen.
I
Yeah.
mean, if you want to support us,
You wanna
that's one
support
way you
us,
can
it
do
just
that.
put it on the background.
Yeah.
I mean,
background.
obviously, we prefer
I think
you
a lot
watch
of
us,
people did, but
for
there was-
6 hours, I don't blame you. Take a break.
But it was fun to see everybody's comments. It was fun for Anthony and I. It did get warm. In case you guys were wondering, it was about 90 degrees in the shop. Even with the AC that we had, the little wall mount AC with the fans.
Yeah.
All our fans going. I mean, it was just a
warm bodies.
And warm bodies.
Yeah, you put that many people
We had
in a
about
room.
75 people when we started.
I'm impressed
It was
with that.
pretty crazy how many people showed up.
Because the RSVP list was like that small and really had no idea how many people were actually going to show.
The hard part was that we had customers that or folks that were there to watch, and then as soon as the food arrived, they all left. So we were like, all right, more tacos for us. So thanks to Kaye75 for providing the tacos. Thanks for Pepsi for providing them ice cool drinks that we got to drink the whole day. And to our friends at Brooks Running for keeping us comfortable while we were on our feet for that long.
We were.
So super cool to have all those guys help us out. And then, of course, Arlon, We Print Wraps, Avery Dennison, the Wrap Institute, us, G-Technic, and ExoShield helping out with the rest of the event.
Kaye75 threw in some tacos.
Well, that's why I said, I already said that. That was a good one.
Double ding down.
That's all right.
We double dong down.
We double ding dong
Dong
dong.
dong. Okay, yeah.
So, point is, it was a really great event. Thank you to all who tuned in, and thank you to all of those that actually showed up. Ozzy Bear, the Rooster, and a few other folks. Who was the other guy that with Austin?
Justin? No, his name wasn't Justin.
I'm so bad with names. I apologize.
I am so sorry. I
Put on the
I
spot.
am really bad with names. None like you, Levi,
That's true.
who is very good with the names. It was Austin and his buddy.
Yeah, but they drove up. They cracked VTech on the way up in the SI. They had a great time. They brought you a bunch of gummy bears.
Yeah, they shipped me some gummy bears. What they did, a whole 5-pound bag. So I already cracked those things open to let them air out, right? Let them start to harden up a little bit. But it might take months though, because they got me the really good gummy bears that they need. This is the world's best gummy bears, so they need to freshen up.
Oh.
Lots of flavors, lots of good
They're
stuff.
fresh out of the bag.
The texture, it is just way too soft.
Yeah.
I refuse to eat
He's
them.
describing the perfect gummy bears right now, and
I
it's
want
bothering
them,
me.
I want them to break my teeth. That's how hard I want them. Savor them. Oh, so
Every
good.
time. It just
There
makes
you go.
me
So,
sick.
but thank you to everybody who showed up. We had a good crew, great event. Now we are going to be hosting a training class in October 21st. We've got another Avery Dennison training class on the
That's
books.
really pushing it pretty close.
It's just a training class, and I don't think Justin's going to be a part of it. I think it's going to be another Avery Dennison trainer. So for those of you that wanted to maybe take the class and didn't get a chance and you want to come back around, I know Juan was talking about, he wants to take it in October on the 21st. So we've got that going. So mark your calendars ahead of time. Go to 80 Graphics North America or Avery Dennison Graphics, and you can do that. And yes, Cameron Messina was here with his wife. There's Ozzy Bear on there.
Yeah, we got a bunch of folks in
with
there.
his wife and her child.
So so Cameron and his wife and her child.
I'm trying to share the comments, but they're not appearing, but we can read them. So if you'd like to read it.
I checked in on his wife a couple times, make sure she was doing all right. Gave her a chair
She's
to
a trooper,
sit in.
man. She's a trooper.
Callie, you're a trooper, man.
She's a trooper.
She did. I saw her outside eating some tacos. She was sitting outside in the shade because there was a breeze.
Yeah.
Because it was so hot inside. So, thank you, Cameron and Callie, for coming. Thank you for bringing your friends with you. And it was just a good event. A lot of fun. It was kind of neat to see everybody. It was a wild day. It was a hot day.
Yeah.
Next time we do it in the morning, like we usually do.
I think that's the other thing too. The heat kind of takes a lot out of people. It's just draining. It's just draining. Just existing. So let alone actually working and rapping is pretty tough.
Yeah.
But also that was the most I guess interaction we've had with people. You know, this many people in a long time. It was kind of like, oh my gosh, I forgot. We were good at this a year and a half ago. Now we have to get back to our back to the basics.
Yeah.
So. But it was a whole fantastic event. A lot of great feedback. A lot of love on the the Instagram posts and things like that. And so we just hope that everybody benefited from it and everybody either learned something in some way, shape, or form, or whatever it may be. Because it's meant to be educational. It's meant to be entertaining. It's meant to be kind of a mixture of everything.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, the crew, the guys. I was talking to Justin at the end of the day after he left, right before he left, and Justin said that was the best crew we'd put together. So we had John Francie from Sticker Mafia. We had Steve Warren from Garage Slick. We had Joe Martin of Creative Wraps and Taylor Hoff from Tailored Industries. And the four of them, they just worked together. They had fun. They flowed well. All of them were like, that was so fun. Like all of them at the end were like, that was fun.
Yeah.
Like, I love learning that. And they were laughing about how they would, like, Justin was showing them stuff and they were all like, sitting there listening, and they're
Like a
like,
little
"Why have none
private
of us ever
lesson."
done that?" Like it was pretty cool to see them all. Justin, my cousin, accompanied Justin. Yeah,
I said that. I said
Yes.
Justin, right? Okay.
Yep,
so-
you did. Those tacos were the bomb, and I didn't think it was too hot inside with that big fan. So that's a
Yeah.
macro air fan, not a big ass fan. So,
It's
but
same motor.
yeah, but it was a good group of guys, good team, you know. And then on top of that, we did something for charity, which was not only did we donate, but we also got that mobile soup kitchen, basically vinyl wrap. That's what it is.
Call it that.
That's
You
what
know,
it is.
his brain gets stuck on the movie The Other Guys,
He
but in
doesn't know what
reality,
an actual
there's
soup kitchen
actually
is where
a
you
reason.
go feed the homeless.
And
And this is the
No.
mobile one.
yes, I know,
It's a
but
mobile.
like there is
mobile
more in
soup
common.
kitchen.
Don't let that distract you from the fact that Hector.
with that Prius with the soup kitchen than we think. So I
Yes.
just keep that.
But
in mind.
anyway, point
Yeah.
was we did for Interfaith Sanctuary.
Yes.
If you guys would like to check out Interfaith Sanctuary on Facebook, and you can learn more. And if you wanted to donate, you're more than welcome to. You can go to Interfaith Sanctuary on Facebook or go to their
Yes.
website, Interfaith Sanctuary, homeless shelter in Boise, and you can
Help out.
help them out. So,
Also, shout out to the TRC camera crew at the event, too. They were busting their butts and doing an amazing job.
They were.
Thank you, Cameron Messina. You're absolutely right. Those guys worked extremely hard. And it was warm out there. So, you know,
It was.
hauling stuff around.
Just
It takes
crazy
a
to know
toll.
that Seabass literally filmed that entire event by himself.
I know. It was
Wow.
Just, he had
And
like
edited the
cameras on
video.
each hand, and he was
It was
showing
insane.
people.
He was,
Yeah.
he was,
And
just
he was
a
doing stuff
go-getter.
like at one point he was
Literally
literally
did
like
it
this,
all.
holding two cameras.
Well,
and I said,
have you
"What
guys
are you
ever seen
doing?"
that John Claude Van Damme commercial where he's on the Volvo like this
With stretching the
spread
legs?
apart? Right, that
Yep.
was Seabass, the two cameras.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy. No, I'm kidding. So, I mean, everybody that pitched in. I mean, everybody from Gabe to Glenn behind here. Nick obviously running the controls in the studio. Tim stopped by for a little bit as well.
He was
And
running cameras. Seabass
everybody
and
had
Jimmy.
their hands on with something.
Gabe.
Yeah. I just
was
wanted to
great.
say,
That was
we
really
had
great.
several folks saying hello, so now that I've got it working here, I was going to make sure and throw out some
Hello.
shouts.
Good to see you
Yes,
guys.
Good to see Alex. And Ed. Thank you, Ed. And let's see. Oh, yeah, that was when I think they caught the
So,
mic early
guys,
on.
so fun fact is that sometimes when we're sitting down here at this table, right, I have this little music beat app,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
I'll make beats before
You
we
live
begin.
on that thing.
And it's just fun for me. And so I think the mics went hot for a minute. And I think you guys picked up on the beat. Hopefully it was killer.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was great. Right? I wasn't going to start rapping, but
So I am going to say one of the standout things that I think your parents, one thing that they really enjoyed,
Yeah.
they got to meet Curtis Stigers, famous musician,
Yes.
popular musician.
who's that? Who's he here
He was here
at the rap event?
at the rap event, hanging out, watching. So he's married to Jody,
Yeah.
the lady who runs Interfaith. So, but the great Curtis Stigers was here. So your dad, being a former musician, and your mom
Yeah.
were able to talk music with him, talk turkey.
I'm really
He's
glad they got
he's
that
a
opportunity.
Boise resident. You know, I remember in listening. I learned first about him in 1993, listening to the Bodyguard soundtrack.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, one of his songs was on there, and I was like, "Whoa, this is cool." My dad's like, "He's from Boise." I don't know if you knew that. I was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
wow.
I didn't." So that's all. It was just fun to talk to him, get a chance to catch up, and then also the owners of WePrint Wraps.
Yeah, very
Bryce
cool.
and Trish, great people. So if
Yeah.
you haven't checked out
Really seem like it.
WePrintWraps.com, go check them out. They literally print wraps.
Yeah.
They do vinyl work, they do sign work, they do all that stuff.
All the custom cool stuff where you're like, how do you get that cool print on a wrap?
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, and fun fact, they saw the Creative Wrap sticker on the back of Joe's shirt, the logo, and they walked up and said, "Do you work for Creative Wraps?" And Joe goes, "Yeah," and he saw their shirts. They had their WePrint Wraps, and he was like, "Oh my gosh!" So Creative Wraps here in Boise, Idaho, when they started their company, they were using WePrint Wraps.
Yeah.
They would design it. They would send the design to WePrint. They would print it off. And then they would mail it and send it back to them.
Yeah.
And then they would install it. And they said, we used you guys to do all our wraps.
Yeah.
To get all our wraps printed out before we even owned our own printer.
No, it's
that's how we did
such
it.
a nice thing to have when you don't have the equipment yet, like to be able to go somewhere you're going to get a professional result and actually have something you want on the
Yeah.
car
So they
or
were
trailer or
really
anything.
excited, and they were cool because they were like, it's nice to know that we helped this business grow because it helped
And it
them
shows now.
create,
Yeah.
still do jobs that they didn't have the access to. And so for any of you guys looking into those kind of things or looking into adding that kind of thing, that's a really neat feature to have with WePrint.
Yeah.
Is they'll print anything for you and they'll print it out on the vinyl, and then you can literally go. My dad pulled one of them aside and started talking about his motorhome.
Oh, yeah.
Because my dad didn't know that he could do a full vinyl wrap on the motorhome however he
Make it look
wanted.
brand new.
You're like,
Yeah.
I don't like this nature scene of my RV.
Yeah,
I want to
well-
change it to something else.
Well, he noticed that he's got some parts that are starting to break and peel, and they're just die cuts that are on the side. And so they showed him.
It's just a big brick.
Yeah, so he
made of
showed him. He's
Jelco.
like, here's what we did to make it look like a newer one. And my dad was like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
And so he's got to re-talk to the guy that's designing his side scoops. He's like, I'm just going to maybe do this and
Yeah.
rewrap
Makes
the
most
whole
sense.
thing. It'll be a lot nicer.
Seriously.
So,
Well,
All right,
Umberto
guys.
had one comment here about whether we're going to coat the
so
car
we
or
didn't
not
coat
today.
it yet. We're going to put the car back together.
Yep.
And then once it's back together, we will do an actual Halo video again, but this time on Jane's Jag. So
We
that way you
might
guys
be able
can
to
kinda
do that today.
See the install of
not
it
today.
and not today.
We have a chair video
Yeah, we
that
got
we
some
need
chair
to
videos.
film. It has
Right.
gone for far too long without filming this thing, and I want to get this thing done.
We need to
So
get
I'm
it
super
in. Get
excited
in
for
there.
it.
Yeah.
Also, he's probably watching, making sure you're going to do it. So
No, I'm going to do it. I'm sitting right here. I'm
We need to do
furious.
it.
I am. I am
It's
because your
and
idea is more
furious.
complicated than simply opening the box. You
So
want to
I'll
do a
tell
lot
you-
more than that.
I do, Dane.
You do.
So I will tell you, I left my fans here, right,
Yeah.
over the weekend.
Ooh, yeah.
I think you have fans everywhere.
Your
So
MOS HQ
The MOS
solution
HQ
package.
cooling solution package
Yeah, 1.1.
did not work as well
Yeah.
because of the lack of fans in my garage,
Mm.
right? So I wanted to start working on the MOS HQ at home podcast studio, and I could not because I didn't have my cooling solution.
Do you want to get some sound paneling?
So I'm going to need
sound
thinking
paneling?
about getting some of those.
Yeah.
I'm going to be building out this little space. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
But I need to clean
you
it
need to.
first. I need to pack up, need to start cleaning and going through some stuff.
So what do you think? This is my thoughts, right? You film this thing, right? Or you record this space, right? You get yourself a couple Edison bulbs, right? Couple nice, what you should get, some of that potpourri from, what's it called?
NVN.
NVN,
Oh
yeah, that
my.
potpourri.
Yeah.
Put a little potpourri tray. You have a couple Edison bulbs, right? You hang a couple, or you have a couple back behind you. You kind of
Moody.
create this really kind of smooth, moody thing. You crack open an ice cold Pepsi. You pour it in the glass. You get like the filling sound, right? And you're like, yeah, it's like filling up. And you're like, you jump straight into it. And,
Yeah.
But it's like dark backdrop because you'll have the sound paneling.
Well,
What do
I
you
won't-
think?
Well, I'm still going to be using it for storage.
Oh,
so I'll
you
still
could
have all
just-
my shelving.
so
I'm literally making myself
maybe-
a space about the size of this TV.
Okay.
yeah, well, that's okay.
So-
Maybe you can hang blankets, like black sheets over
Ooh,
them.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
hide it. You don't need to
Yeah.
see it on camera.
Put some curtains in
Right?
there.
I like the way
mean,
that sounds.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need to get a couple more shelving units put in, and then I just got to go through and clean out the space that is blocking the where it's going to go. So, and then I get it all ready to go, and then I'll move my chair in there, my table in
Jeez.
there, my little desk. It'll be good.
That is going to be
And-
awesome.
And it's air conditioned.
Oh, that's a relief.
So great space. It's going to be nice. But yeah, this way it's kind of more quieter. I can set it up. I can actually build it out the way I want to. And if I need to, I can fold the desk away. That's kind of my other game plan with it. So,
That is
but
fun.
I wanted to work on it this weekend and get
Yeah.
started, but it was so flipping hot,
And it continues
and I
to
had
be.
no fans, and I was dying. And I thought, nope, I'm not. Nope, never mind.
Milk was a bad choice.
Milk was a bad choice. I opened my freezer in my garage to see if that would help cool it down. That did not work. Apparently, that's not how you cool areas when it's 99 degrees inside. So, no, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. Anyway, all right, guys. So, let's get this party started. Who wants to go
Yes.
first with your short weekends?
Well, a short one. I just wanted to throw that Jeff one back up because that was nice from Jeff C.
yeah.
Hey
Good
guys,
job, man.
Thanks to all that I've learned from you, I knocked out a wash, clay, one-step correction, and applied CSL Exo on my best friend's SUV on
That's
Saturday.
money right there.
Turned
Nice.
out great.
That's some good money.
So good job,
Digging
Jeff. Glad we
Yeah.
could help, and hopefully your friend likes it.
Yeah. Congrats,
yeah.
man.
All right. So Weekend time. What little we had to
So,
ourselves.
Dane, why don't you start off since you were kind of the man of the hour
Mine's,
with the
mine's short.
freshly wrapped Jaguar.
So I love it. I can't wait to get it out, but still putting it back together.
Yeah.
But
You don't have doors on your car. We took those off.
yeah, that's important. It's not
Still on
quite
the
a
gull
Jeep.
wing doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are
Scissor
structural.
doors. Scissor doors.
But the new tune makes it sound mean, so I'm excited
like
about
it.
that.
I like that.
I gave them a little video clip in the background of us revving it yesterday, just for fun, trying out the new.
So did you just plug that in?
Basically, it's a thing where you do it between your computer
You read,
and
you read and write the ECU. So you
Yeah.
have to read the existing map, right? Save the map. So
you
it's
save
your
the
stock
original
tune.
ECU
Yeah.
read,
And
so you
then
can always go back
you
to
save
it.
it, and then you send it over. They make the adjustments, and they send you the new map, and then you simply plug it in, and then write over the existing map, and it saves it. So
It's an alternative. So, like, a lot of tuners say, like, Jimmy, I believe he uses a standalone ECU. So instead of messing with the original factory computer that was in the car, which back in the 90s when that car was there, it wasn't quite as powerful as more modern ones. But standalone one, that's an easy thing. They're built for that. They know they're going to be tuning them. But with a factory ECU on like
doesn't like
more
it.
modern cars and stuff, it's a little different. You got to
Yeah.
work around some protocols that a lot of manufacturers put in to stop people from doing that. But there are ways. So yeah, no, this one is just like a direct on the ECU tune, and basically this one took me up like 100 horses. So
Yeah.
and that's crank horsepower. So like 650 crank. So I imagine wheel is probably close to like 5.
How many of those horses are you using on a day-to-day basis?
Oh, probably like 120.
Okay, that's good.
Until I
at
want to
least
leave
you
a
have it.
stoplight and scare the ever-loving eat out of somebody, and then it's fun.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think it
So-
sounds. I thought in the video clips I saw, I thought it sounded mean.
Well, Jimmy noted that the normal character of when you took your foot off the brake, it would normally be very like gentle to
Yeah.
roll and stuff. He goes, this time it wasn't. He goes,
It
this
would-
time
it
it
would
felt like
be
it just
gas.
wanted to go. We had towels set up on the lift to keep
Oh.
it from scraping the frame on the lift. And when he started rolling forward, those tires just slipped on the towels and just like flew him up immediately. Like it was just like, I want to go. So yeah, it was kind of exciting. It was like, okay. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that is on the road.
drives up to McCall.
Here's
go visit your parents.
hoping, I don't go sideways the first time I try it out, but I have a feeling I'll pick a nice big wide straight section road and be like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, my weekend was basically just picking up the area after the event and getting it all cleaned up. And yeah, like everybody left. It was pretty late when we all
Yeah.
left. I mean, you remember
I
exactly
think
when
I
everybody
left.
was heading
You
out?
left. I left about 9:00.
Okay. Yeah. Because
I think
I was
you
here
left
till
about-
about 10.
Show was over at 8. We were out about 9. I think I literally left. It was like 9:15. I called.
Okay. I was
my
like
wife.
10
I
or
was on my way
10:30,
home.
but I was walking around like picking up the food and stuff,
Yeah.
which unfortunately I thought it would help if I just, all the catering, I put like the lids back on everything. That didn't stop the smell. So the
No, it
studio was a
didn't.
little bit funky, a
The
little bit
building got
right.
hot on
And the
Sunday,
heat
too.
didn't help. So
Yeah.
all those factors kind of made it that
Oh, I
way.
think it came
But
from that soup kitchen, that rolling soup kitchen.
That was in the building.
yeah, so
till
that
Monday.
was lovely. But I had family in town
Yeah.
for the weekend. My uncle Scott, JS. These are all from my mom's side of the
Yeah.
family, and they got together and they wanted to hang out. So on Sunday, we kind of gave them a tour of the facility because a couple of them hadn't been here before since we kind of added the media center and did all these things over the last year. So yeah, no, that kind of woke up the area and they wanted to see it. So we took them through, and of course that was when I noticed that, oh no, those things kind of
All the
smell.
food
and we
smelled.
should
Yeah.
probably
Well, and the hard part was all the trash was full.
yeah, and all the trash was full.
dumpster.
So as much as I wanted to throw it away, I couldn't.
Our dumpster was full. We had to wait till the day for it
Yeah,
to dump.
so that was the unfortunate thing. But anyway, oh yeah, the video clip, great. Glenn, you want
There
to
we
play
go.
it for people?
You
Oh,
have audio?
No
gonna hear
audio
it.
for us.
Will it crackle? Will it pop? Let's find out. Jimmy!
Hopefully you guys can hear that because none of us can hear it.
One more.
Wow, it'd be a lot of fun if we could hear it.
I'm sure they can
I
hear
think
it
they
on
can
their
hear it.
end.
Can you
I'm
guys
hoping
hear
they
that?
can.
I heard the audio
Hopefully you guys
through the
heard
wall,
that.
so
Okay,
they can
good.
hear it. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that thing sounds pretty.
that
mean.
was exciting.
Yeah.
Very excited. So
Very-
yeah,
very
no,
excited.
Mike Spina basically just said it. Yeah, basically. So very excited about that. We put that on yesterday, and I'm in love. But That and the color, just so exciting.
You do anything on Sunday besides show you?
So on
family
Sunday,
around?
it was basically tour with the family, and then hung out at the evening. Went back to my parents' house, and we got pizza, and then we all just kind of hung out and talked, got together, caught up. It was very nice, some family time. And then when they decided they'd had enough of that, wanted to go out on the lake on the boat, they wanted to take the paddle boat around. A few of us stayed behind and just started watching Clarkson's farm because I wanted to show them Clarkson's farm at my parents' house.
Oh, your parents' house. Okay.
Because I told them they'd enjoy it, and they did.
Dane, be honest
good.
with me.
Yeah,
I have a hard question for you.
What?
And maybe you do have to answer this, but maybe you can do it in a way. Do you like hanging out with your dad's side of the family more? Your dad's brothers and
that's
sisters?
not fair.
Or do you like hanging out with your mom's side of the family more?
You know what? It's always going to be tough because you put family on the spot like that. And it's
family,
like, there's
family.
After watching F Night, family. But when it comes down to it, if you pick favorites, you're only going to end up upsetting people. There's definitely people where you're like, oh, I had a really good time hanging out with them on these specific occasions. And then other times you're like, okay, maybe it's not always matching up personality-wise. I get it. That's just a fact of life. But I do think I had a lot of fun with these guys this time around. It was mellow. It was so hot outside. Everybody just kind of wanted to like sit inside and just catch up and not really try and go out and do too many activities.
Yeah.
Keep the movement
So it was
down.
more mellow, because of the heat.
Yeah.
And this crazy, what is this heat dome they're calling it over the
Yeah, the
Pacific
heat
Northwest?
dome.
What is it, like Portland was 112 yesterday or something insane
We're going to be
like that?
108, 106 today.
Just madness.
It's going to be gross today. We're
So,
gonna have,
not
Remember to
looking
bead maker your
forward
cars, people.
to
Keep
that.
that UV down, right?
I went outside before the
man.
podcast and put my sun shield in just because I wanted to try and
Yeah.
temper the amount of heat coming into the car. It's crazy what it's going to be doing. So,
basically, that was just my Saturday, Sunday,
Nice.
and then there wasn't really a lot more to it than that because we didn't really have a lot of time. I barely got any sleep. I didn't get home until probably 11:30 on Sunday night.
Yeah.
So by the time Monday rolled around, I was just
You were
kind
just
of like a
wiped.
zombie.
Yeah.
And the heat does it to
well,
you
I
too.
think what
you
we
know?
should have done, because, and I think this is the only smart person in the room thought of this, but I should have offered it to everybody else. I took Monday off, and I feel like the next time that we do anything like that on a Saturday, we should
12
plan
hours,
on for 12 hours. Like we were there for a very long time.
And I know people will roll their eyes like, well, you're just on camera. What's the big deal? It's like, no, like when you're in a hot room like that, the exhaustion sets
No, we
in.
were
It really
working.
gets you.
We were working.
Yeah.
And I think next time we take that Monday off because based on my experience, I'm glad I took Monday off.
Yeah, no, you
know?
seem refreshed.
Much better than that. But
Yeah.
I think next time that's a given. So
No, I hear that. And yeah, that's not a bad thing to consider for the future. We can definitely talk about that and figure that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my weekend. That was about it. And on Monday, came back in, had a lot of help from Jimmy and co. putting the car back together. So it's mostly back together. There's
What's
just some
left?
weird stuff with the door handle that's not locking back into place on the outside. So need to figure out what that's about. But the rear, spoiler, the taillights, the headlights, all that stuff's back in. I got to tighten up the headlights. I put new license plate bulbs in.
Nice.
Because those were burned out. But yeah, no, just basic stuff. And I'm really happy with how the wrap turned out. Those guys did an amazing job. I really want to shout out all those guys. From Taylor to, Joe Creative Wraps to, John Francie and Justin and just everybody who
Steve.
contributed. Steve, obviously Steve. Steve, I always like Steve because he's just so low key.
Yeah.
He did the tint on my windows on that car too, which I really, really love. That ceramic tint that's on there is awesome and really does a good job of keeping the heat out. But I'm probably going to have him put the visor back on my windshield now that I've got the new windshield. But apart from that, I really want to get ExoShield on there too.
Yeah.
That'd be
That's
awesome.
the next thing we want
Yeah.
to do is make sure we got that.
So we can do something with that. But I just want to shout out everybody because they did an amazing job. And we know it was a long show, but we were still pressed for time to get some of that stuff done. It's just the fact of the matter is when you're trying to do multiple vehicles at an event like that, it's going to get tied up and stuff. So there's a couple more things where maybe I want to do little tweaks and I want to paint the brake calipers a different color, some little stuff like that. But Cameron wants me to post a bunch of pictures on Instagram. So
There you
yes,
go.
I will do that. Don't worry. But yeah, no, that's it. that was my weekend. And what about you guys? What about
Anthony?
Anthony?
Yeah. I'll take the helm here.
Yeah,
If
do
I
it.
must, I'll jump in here. So last week's things that we didn't talk about, right? Our very own Morgan McMurray
Morgan
came
McMurray
in
was here.
last
Yes.
week, right? And
Yeah.
we didn't really talk about that too much because basically she was supposed to be on the last week's main show podcast. Didn't work out. Timing just didn't work out. So
We did our part.
We did our part. She just decided to sleep in and get her hair done.
Yeah, it
Whatever,
happens.
Right? Just typical Morgan things. But then on Thursday, it also didn't work out again. But she was here. She stopped by.
Yep.
She wanted to let everybody know she's doing well. She's doing great. We got to hang out with Calvin and a really nice guy. Got to hang out, talk cars with him, and get to know him a lot more. So I think she's in good hands there. But Friday night, we actually all went out to see Fast 9.
Yeah,
all
we
of us.
went-
Time for
it
a
was
movie
all
review.
Of us. It was all of us.
Yeah.
Juan,
Eric.
and Chris from G Technic, and
Yeah.
your parents.
Yeah.
The whole media team,
Yeah.
the boys from G Technic,
it was a big
Juan, and your mom and dad, and,
Morgan
your
and
brother.
Calvin. And
And Morgan and Calvin and Morgan's dad came.
We had a
Yeah.
whole row to ourselves at the IMAX theater. It was interesting because we all drove our cool cars.
We fast and furious it there,
Well,
where we all drive our own cars
Yeah.
to the destination.
Well-
we don't carpool. You drive a single car for one
drive
person,
your car.
or two.
But it was opening night of
Yeah.
the movie, right?
Yeah.
So we're thinking, guys, we got to get there early. We got to
Yeah,
get there an
let's
hour
get
early.
there.
It's going to get packed. We want to make sure that we get have our seats and everything's organized. Guys, this IMAX theater was the most dead theater I think I've been to. I
think a lot of people still have
years.
COVID movie theater brain. So
Well,
they're
probably.
they're not wanting to go out to the movies. It's
Yeah.
hard to get people to want to
Totally
go out.
forgot to send this to
But this movie
to the
definitely
team.
was banking on encouraging people to get back out there.
It was, but I don't think it worked very well. What do you got there for us, Levi? You got a video of us? That's us. Yeah, they can see it.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's us in the
It's
theater.
quite empty in there.
Start it
So-
over again so you guys can see. Look at that. We practically rented the whole theater to ourselves.
And let me say, as someone who hasn't been to a movie theater since I watched 1917 in the theater at the Eagle Lux, it's been a minute. There are more ads now where they're
yeah.
compensating
Yep.
for all the lost revenue.
Yes.
They played
Here's
what,
the other great
half
thing
an
that I
hour,
loved.
half an
Yeah.
hour
Half
to
an
40
hour, yeah.
minutes
Half
worth
an
of
hour.
ads.
The other thing I loved, they switched over to Pepsi.
Oh yeah, there you go,
Delicious
too.
Pepsi products for us to enjoy while we sat.
Those are the ads you didn't
enjoyed.
mind.
I didn't mind any
No.
of those Pepsi ads. I was very thankful. You know how long I've had to sit in movies for years drinking
Drink
only
Coke
Coke
products.
products.
Yeah, and you're just
Horrible.
surrounded by Coke.
Horrible.
Stuff. Yeah.
It's the worst time of my life.
So,
However,
Anthony.
this time, very enjoyable.
Yes.
Good
yes.
friends. Good movie. Good Diet Pepsi products.
Anthony's got some words.
No. So, I mean, I'm not going to give you my full movie review here, but I will say this.
That's
Dun,
what
dun,
this is
dun,
for.
dun.
I have been waiting 2 years.
You have
right,
been.
for, a fa- for
I
a
will
fast
say this
movie.
first before you start. Anthony, you are quite possibly the quintessential Fast and Furious fan.
Oh, he's
Of
totally
the highest
guy.
of the highest order.
I don't know about that.
You believe in the lifestyle, the family, the quarter mile at a
Sorry,
time.
it's family.
You believe it.
Family.
Yeah. So I would. Okay. Let's just say that
Don't believe us. Look at his
my
desk.
youth was based around these
Right,
movies,
right.
right? That was my youth, and
You created your whole persona.
between the Fast and Furious movies and between Need for Speed Underground
Cruise.
and all those games, and that sense of okay, I really love this scene. I like these cars. I like the the people, the actors, and all
Yeah.
this. I really became engulfed in it. Obviously, like many of you, I started kind of distancing myself away from the franchise or whatever the heck you want to call it, because. Is it a franchise? You can refer to it as a
Yeah, it
franchise.
is a franchise.
Saga.
It's a saga, right? I started kind of distancing myself after about the fifth one, right? It was just okay, it's kind of getting a little.
Fifth one was good though.
No, Fifth one's
after
the
the
best
fifth
one.
one.
Oh, after the
the
fifth
fifth
one.
one.
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
after the fifth one. So because it starts getting a little crazy. Six
sure.
is I don't even know who remembers six, and then
Well, okay, so real quick.
six was probably the least memorable.
On the list of all 9, how do you rank each one?
I have no idea, Dane.
Really?
But I would probably say that
Number 1, what's your number 1?
probably the first one, just because it's just that was it, and then probably right after that would be Tokyo Drift.
Okay.
And I know people
And
are
you-
like, you like Tokyo Drift? Yes, I like
As a
Tokyo
standalone.
Drift.
I
because
love Tokyo
It
Drift.
brought the cars. It brought a level of character building and world building with the cars, right? And the premise of the whole movie wasn't so chaotic. It was
It
actually
didn't matter
somewhat-
that it was so different because it was true to the core ethos of the street racing.
Like, guys,
stuff
I fell
and
asleep to the
a little
Tokyo
bit of
Drift
crime
movie
on the
for like
side.
4 years.
Yeah.
It was my falling asleep movie.
Yeah.
Turn that on, fall asleep. I loved it.
Like,
right?
say what
I
you
never
will
got
about the
tired of it.
characters and stuff, but like the world building and everything.
The world
like you
building
say
is
was
fantastic.
because he fell
totally.
asleep.
And the world building in number
Awesome.
one was fantastic as well. I mean, they just did a really good job.
That's
and,
to Justin Lin's credit, who's done a lot of these movies, not all of them, but a lot of the more recent ones that started with that one.
yeah. So I would just say, yeah, and the rest is kind of just scattered. But anyway, so going to see this one after 2 years of waiting from Fast 8, right, from the previous movie, I was obviously looking forward to this because I'm like, okay, finally, I finally have, like, I can get my fix in of some type of chaos or whatever the heck's going to happen, even though I know it's not the same thing. I think my biggest thing is I look forward to seeing the cars. People say, do you look forward to the action, the fighting, and all that? I'm like, no, it's never been about that. To me, I just literally like seeing cars on a big screen because some of these cars are built in good taste. Yeah, that's pretty
Thank
much
you,
it.
Grant. I'm not posting them, but thank you.
You should post it. But it's kind of, it's all about seeing the cars because I think that what
America
they
got to hang out
do
with them.
is they set the movies, they set trends in the industry, right? Whether you think they do or they
No,
don't,
they do.
right?
Yeah.
Like when they feature a car, right? That car now becomes awesome.
No.
It's just a fact.
Remember
of
in
it.
the second when they brought out all the trucks,
The owners are like,
road
"Sweet."
armor went crazy.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
no one had done an
mean,
off-road bumper or a mean-looking bumper like that before.
So-
and all of a sudden, because they had all those prominent shots of road armor
Well, and
on
to
the
like
trucks, that's
to Craig
common
Lieberman's
now.
credit, right? Craig Lieberman, right, who's actually was involved with picking
Yeah.
mostly all the vehicles
From
for
the
the
beginning.
first several movies, right? He did a great job picking these cars, right, and then kind of categorizing them, saying, "Hey, you should go this way," and then the studio obviously wanted to go different routes
Because
they
their
found
original
ways-
ideas were very bad, and
very-
Craig saved him in
yeah.
a lot of cases.
So, but they set trends. So when I go to see a movie, I look forward to seeing those few shots that you see in the previews of a car being highlighted because you're like, yes, that's a clean example. That's awesome.
Yeah.
In real life, are they kind of janky? Yes, but on this big screen,
Well, like the F-bomb
they look
Camaro.
awesome.
That
I
was in
love the
F5.
F-bomb Camaro.
Yeah,
The F-bomb Camaro and that scene. That was a hot rod.
The split
like,
bumper ones like that
magazine
are rad.
Car
Yeah.
that all of a sudden made an appearance in the movie, and it just went. I mean, it was.
Yeah, the thing was
Why
sick.
not?
Awesome, right? Or just seeing the Grand National,
Yeah,
right?
Of course, yeah.
And
movie.
and seeing
Yeah,
that in that
fun,
intro
yeah.
scene, you're like,
Well,
oh my
fourth
god,
one.
that's awesome,
Yeah.
right? You can
Yep.
hear all the sounds, even though it's probably not the same sound, but you get what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. So I look forward to seeing that. That's it. That's what I look forward to seeing.
Yeah.
And so the less I get of that, the more I'm kind of like, well, dang, this is really strayed so far away from the cars that you once got excited
Well, and
about
even in
seeing.
8, lots of cars.
Yeah.
Even at 8 had lots of cars, but what I like is I like seeing the clips of the cars
Yeah.
for more than 10 seconds.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
know that sounds like too much to ask, right? But I like seeing a character, the world building happen between a character and a vehicle.
There's a relationship.
I
that
like
develops.
the attachment to those things.
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest part. It doesn't even have to be an awesome car, or a car that I'm like obsessed with, for them to create this relationship. I don't know what I would not relationship,
Yeah.
but just this character building with the car
Right.
is what I'm so invested in.
The sixth one had that super rad Escort Cosworth
Yeah,
or whatever.
awesome,
The
right?
super
And that
awesome
was
little
in,
old
and
car,
you
yeah.
got to see that for a while, right? But it's when they kind of tease you with these small, short clips, and it's frustrating. But anyway, back to the movie. Obviously, the movie was
Amazing. One of the
It-
100%.
Well, see, Jamie the Cleaner here says it
69% on
best.
Rotten Tomatoes.
It was, guys, that movie, like, basically, when it first started, right, I'm thinking, okay, so they've already, there's some, not, I want to say continuity errors, but you'll see right off the bat, right, when they refer to young Dom and they refer to young John Cena. You guys already know these characters are in there, so I'm not going to ruin it for you. But you look at these people and you're like, okay, that's not, one of them's kind of close, the other one not really at all. I don't know how that's going to work unless
bit of a stretch, but they're
unless
trying.
Dom, shorten, like literally shrinks a foot.
I'm just gonna say it. Young Dom is a better actor than actual Dom.
and so there's some like kind of continuity errors that were like, that doesn't really even make sense. But then moving on past that, they start getting to the crazy action scenes. But I think the thing that I was upset about the most is that there was no plot, there was no nothing. They jumped straight into it. They literally just said,
yeah.
F it. We're like,
No chill.
It's a mission. We're going on a mission. That's it. The shortest backstory I've ever seen. Literally, the backstory was 2 minutes long. Less than 2 minutes
Yeah,
long.
no, they give you a false sense of security and then they immediately rip that out.
Yeah.
There was, like, in a lot of movies, when you have an action movie, even in like the biggest action movies that have like, okay, a cold open where an action scene, like a James Bond movie or something, it's like, okay, there's like maybe 8 to 10 minutes of that. And then it's just, okay, now we're on to a chill thing. And for the next 40 minutes, it's going to be just a lot of story building, world building. And then we'll get to another action set piece, maybe. But in this case, it just...
There's no room to breathe, basically.
You can't enjoy all the hardcore, cool action stuff if you don't have a moment to stop and appreciate it.
Yeah. And it's... And every bit of backstory that they included in it was not chill for more than 30 seconds before an action sequence had to happen. I said that action sequence doesn't have to happen because who are these enemies you're even fighting? Oh, they're just goons. Why are the goons there? It doesn't even need it. The goons don't need to be coming out of the walls out of nowhere. It doesn't make any sense. But I guess what I'm trying to get to is that when the action stuff started happening, you would think that what you saw in the previews, okay, this is obviously absurd, right? Let's just get this out of the way fast, right? Let's get some of the craziness out of the way.
That was
It was
the
a
thing
long
is
movie.
like
It
a
was a
lot of
long
the
movie.
ads you see for the movie showed like this opening scene in the trailer, and when you watch the trailer, you think it's something that happens later in the movie, but in reality, it's like the first thing.
Yeah, it's like the first thing that happened. So it's just crazy right off the bat. They spent a lot of time on like scenes, especially built within those action scenes that didn't even need to be filmed. They didn't even need to exist. And then going from there, the things I was looking forward to the most, right, in that movie, me personally, I was looking forward to seeing Han, right, Sun Kang. I was looking forward to seeing the tribute Supra, right, from Tokyo Drift, the FDRX7, and then I was looking forward to seeing the final scene, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I was looking forward to the Sung thing. Okay, all right, let's get Han out there. I would love to have the craziest, coolest interest for Han ever invented, right? Not at all. Literally, it's him walking into a room and people are just, wow, you're alive. That's
Well, he
great.
did shoot a bunch of
Yeah, I was gonna
guys.
say,
He was
they
in a
kinda
sniper
led
position.
into
But
that.
that was literally,
end.
that was...
And it was like a ghost scene.
Their
It still
explanation,
sucked.
the beauty of it was like how they kind of hand wave, like that happened. But literally, they have a character ask, like, "Well, can you explain how that?" Because they're just
Guys,
they're
it's
trying to
very meta.
make this character
Like,
a surrogate
it's-
for the audience in this
Correct.
moment, and like. I want to know how you're going to possibly explain this one, and then they just go,
Yep.
"Yeah, we did it. Whatever." Moving on.
They own it. They own that it's
Yeah.
a joke. So that's the good part,
Multiple
I guess.
times. It's a very self-aware
well, they
script, which
did.
I
You know,
appreciated. There were
Roman and-
moments.
Roman and Tej started
That conversation that Roman
about
and
being
Tej have
invincible.
with Ramses about like potentially being invincible and stuff. Honestly, I kind of love that, even though it's ridiculous.
I loved it, too.
I loved that because I'm like, well, at least the writer is
Well,
acknowledging it. Then I
it
looked it up.
says-
There's a new writer for this movie.
Okay, that's probably why. So since Fast 5, it has always been a running joke that they are literally Avengers when they're in cars. They have no superpowers
Yeah.
unless they're in cars, or it's Dom and The Rock having a fight.
Also, cars are apparently like stunt sandbags that you
soft.
can just land on all the time.
Yeah,
Cars are really
super-
soft, guys. You can
Yeah,
just
except for that.
fall on
Except
them
for
like
when
a
they hit
pillow
that
made
car
of metal.
to the other guy that was standing on it. And then
Oh, right, yeah. But, you know, if you're a bad guy, it hurts more,
yeah,
apparently.
that's what I mean. They're invincible.
Let me continue.
Yes.
So obviously they're invincible. They acknowledge that there's some meta stuff inside there. So it was meant to be funny. The hard part I couldn't get behind. The thing I can't get behind is there are moments where they try to be serious, right? And they try to pull at your heartstrings. And they try to do that. And I say, you guys can't do that.
You didn't earn
And like,
that.
you didn't earn this. You didn't earn this. It doesn't make any sense to fit this in here. And you'll know what I mean once you see it. It's just the serious emotional parts. I'm just like, this is such BS. Oh my gosh, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. But then moving from there, I
right,
would say
Grant.
that the next scene, I was looking forward to the damn Supra. I was
Yeah.
like, give me some good driving. Anything, right?
Yeah.
Han was in that Supra for all of 15 seconds, right? Before he was out of the car, right? All of the shots that you see of the Supra driving, it's actually John Cena driving the Supra. And you'll see that later on. But and it was highlighted for all of 10 seconds. You had a couple cool shots, and then it was gone. Didn't exist anymore.
It literally felt like it was just put there to go like, okay, you guys watch this movie, you're probably expecting a new Supra. Here's a new Supra. Okay, anyway, moving on.
Yeah, moving on, right? There was a shot of an NSX for 10 seconds. That was kind of cool.
Literally parking just in basic traffic.
And then the one car that they featured for the longest time that Queenie was driving, which was that...
the Noble M600,
Noble.
which I actually love. And I was surprised that they would include kind of an obscure car like that. Volvo V8 inside of it. Cool car.
Well, there was
I'll
that,
give it
and
that.
then the Jaguar Project 8, and that they also included.
Which, okay. I don't want to go off on a whole tangent, but let me just say the sound design atrocious. They made that thing sound like a Focus RS. They gave it a 4-cylinder sound. That thing has the same engine my Jag has. It's the same engine, just tuned up more. So
Sorry, Dane. I just
come on,
wasn't in
people.
the budget.
Actually,
so
no, mine's even tuned up more now. Crazy. Okay. Anyway,
Dane's car's faster now.
good for you.
I got 50 horses on it.
Well, anyway, so they messed that up, and I don't know. There was just only a couple cool car features. The Noble, nobody can even.
can't
That's the
even
other
see
thing. People like to relate to cars that they see in movies, right? It's exciting to say, "Hey, that's an obtainable car. That's a car I have, or that's something that I'm interested in." But like, this is one of those where it's okay. The Noble. Cool. That's the same thing with the damn hypercar that was in Fast 7.
The Lycan
Hypersport, right?
Honestly, the Noble has more of a history and
it has more heritage.
No, but it's
than
actual
you're right.
real-world application than
But
the
you
Lycan.
And it
can't
makes
relate to
sense
those
in
cars.
like when you look at like Tokyo Drift, and this is the reason you like it so much. You relate to it because each one of those cars shown in Tokyo Drift is attainable.
Yeah,
It is.
It's like
It is
350Zs and an FDRX7. Granted, the Veilside kit's hard to get, but that's
you've
besides.
also got to look at just a
Well, the
67 Mustang.
S15 is also.
You've got a Mustang with an RB
unattainable,
swap. You've got the Monte Carlo, Sean's Monte Carlo at the beginning. Like
Actually, I
that's
love that.
actually really cool.
That was really cool
Really
to
well
include
done.
in a movie like that. 'Cause
yeah,
they hadn't
sheet metal
really-
door panels and all. That was actually a really cool car.
What's weird is that Viper it raced was actually new at the time. That's
yeah,
how
but
old
the
that
Viper, but that's the thing though. It was against a Viper, and it was
Yeah.
showing like this car can do everything that car
Against
can do,
Full
which has
House
always
Kid.
been what
what we like.
Fast and Furious has always been about. And honestly, like
Obviously,
thing I
Say,
didn't
some
like-
may say. I'm actually just passionate. I love this stuff.
I
It's
will
just
say the
fun.
one thing that I didn't care for was that rear engine Challenger.
yeah,
That was
The way
so
they-
strangely just put in there and like zero context.
And-
So like
and-
this is normal.
Slow driving, because if you notice any of the high speed shots, it started to get really squirrely.
Oh yeah.
They would wiggle and shake, and
Apparently it has like a Lamborghini transaxle in it.
It probably
and some
did,
other
but
crazy stuff. Yeah.
that car. I was like, why do we have to? Why? And now I realize
I'm trying
I was
to
thinking
blend
about
in.
this. They gave each person a car that they've always kept with. So then the question is, where are they getting all these cars too?
Yeah, no, like right at
And
the beginning of the movie. There's
How
just like,
come Dom has 17 different Chargers?
I just want the world building. I want.
Why does he
literally,
have to have
it could
17
be a
different
scene
styles of
Dom,
Charger?
They're at the
Dom
point where
opening
they're
a
like,
garage with all these cars in it, and I'd say,
take it.
there it is. That's
Yeah.
how
Take
the
it.
cars came
Yeah.
about. But no, they're getting these highly modified,
Yeah.
crazy looking cars just out
Because
of
like
nowhere.
in Fast 8, when they show up and he's got everything there,
it's just
and
SEMA
it
builds
makes
now.
sense.
They're all
but it makes
SEMA
sense.
builds.
But that makes sense when he walks in and he's like, "Here you guys go." That makes sense. But if they're like, "We got to get some rigs," and the next thing, why is he driving a Charger in the desert? It's not even lifted. It's a stock wide body Charger, and everybody else has four-wheel
Yeah.
drives. Like, I don't get that part of it. If he would have had the version that he had in Fast 7 or whatever, where
Yeah.
it was lifted and had the case, then I'd be like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. Or even just like when they had the bumpers on the newer Chargers. Like, it's the fact that like they were doing shots to do shots. Like,
Yeah.
we got this car, we got to put it in here. We got this car, we got to make it.
felt like
shot
just
in here.
ticking off things
Yeah.
on a list.
No, it was a
Yeah.
list. It was a
But
list.
I will say, as someone who has watched the series for 20 years, I've seen every movie.
Yep.
I don't live and die by it.
No.
But I look at it as Fast 1 was a great movie. I thought it was really cool
As its own thing.
because it started the whole genre. Now, is it better than the previous Fast and Furious, the Fast and the Furious from 1967
Oh, yeah,
or
that
71? Yes.
Yeah.
Because that movie doesn't make sense. Now, that was a reboot based on that old movie. So this was already a remake of
Pretty
an
much
original
in
movie.
name only.
So it created a whole new series from that point on.
Yeah.
Too Fast, Too Furious, not too great.
Too
Fast
Fast,
3,
Too Furious is very low
Yeah.
on the list for me.
So then Tokyo Drift, I like Tokyo Drift.
I put it pretty high. I like that one.
Fast 4, I didn't mind it.
It's kind of forgettable, but
5
when you actually think
is
back,
one of
it
my
has some cool
favorites.
stuff. Fast 5 is just a fun heist movie
It's
from
one of
start
my
to finish.
favorite movies.
Yeah.
I love Fast 5. 6 and 7, they're all right.
I like
8,
7
I
better
thought
than
was
6.
okay. I like 7 better than 6
For
too.
some reason, everybody says they kind of like 8. I put 8 really low. I just don't like 8.
I didn't mind 8.
I like
didn't-
8 more
think
than 9.
I do like 8 more than 9.
I like 9 more than 8, but only because of the ironic insanity factor. Like,
Yeah.
at least it was
And
trying
then-
to just go.
And then I
way
will say
beyond.
though, after 5, I dug into the lore, so to
Yeah.
speak, of how it was written, why it's doing this stuff, and just came to the conclusion from now on, after 5, I'm just going to treat them as superheroes. They can do whatever they want. They're just screwing around. It literally after 5, they jumped the shark.
Well, as soon as, The Rock is here, things kind of change.
It just went crazy. Like
bit,
they dropped a friggin' parking garage and they all got out and they're like
literally stomp and collapse
all right,
a parking
here we go.
garage.
Like
No.
So-
Dom pulled
Anthony,
down a concrete structure in this building.
Yeah.
With
Oh,
his
goody.
bare hands.
yeah,
But
well, because he's a monster.
Because he's a monster.
Yeah.
But no, and I guess I'll just leave it with the last scene. So I was disappointed by Han's Han's introduction. I was disappointed by the Supra scene, and then lastly, I was disappointed by the final scene. Right? They pull. Let's just say they pull in a blue R34. Right? For about all of 8
Some
seconds.
people literally yelled at the screen, "You can't do that."
No, because they can't.
You can't do that.
That's
I
not
think
fair.
it was him.
No, they
No,
you
Chris
can't.
next to me from G
Chris said
Technic
that.
yelled at. He's like, "You can't do that."
No, you can't do that. You can't take a movie that you know is just literally going to fail and then throw that in there and try to make up for that, because that's the thing.
Nostalgia
They
bait.
brought that scene into the previews. They brought that scene into so many different things, and I was like, dude, it's 10 seconds. You can't. It's unfair.
Literally,
they
what
didn't
you
even
see in
need
the
that.
trailer
They coulda
is all
ended
that
it.
is in the movie.
They could have ended it without even adding that scene.
Yeah.
They could have ended it with the last line and been just fine.
Mythical Shore.
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome. Yes.
so-
Punny.
Anyway,
So-
I figured that was you.
Anthony, so what was the rest of your weekend like after?
Oh wow! Anyway,
viciously
after being
ripping apart?
disappointed, right, and I couldn't stop thinking about that movie. Honestly, I literally couldn't sleep that
Yeah,
night.
did you like
'cause-
that I at least sent that so you could understand? Because you were pretty upset earlier, and I
Racked my
said,
brain. And
you-
for people that
this
say
is-
you're not supposed to take it too seriously, you're supposed to sit back and enjoy it. I know you're supposed to sit back
But you're
and
looking
enjoy
at it in the context of the series, and it's still frustrating.
I will always
to you.
look at it
Yeah.
into the context of
Yeah.
the series. I can't not do that because you have to think about it, guys. I was 9 years old, 10 years old
Yeah.
when that first movie came
"Yeah,
out,
I
right?
was 20."
So I watched this movie and it was kind of like, this is the coolest thing,
Yeah.
right? This is I love this.
As
I
a
love
child,
everything about
This is my happy place.
And I grew up with that, building these dang little identical cars in Need for Speed,
Yeah.
and just
you bought an Evo.
I just living that lore and getting so
Yeah.
into it,
Yeah.
and so
Modified.
now
Developed your personality.
and they all but now people just say, well, you should have never done it in the first place. You should have never idolized these movies. I was a part of the generation that did that. I couldn't help it. So when I see where it got to now, I'm just like, dang it.
Yeah,
I get
it's
it.
different
I
for
get
me,
it. I
and
get
it's different
it.
for me because
But-
I was already into the hot rod scene,
Yeah,
not
and
the
you could
import
look at that
scene.
and you could laugh and joke.
So
from the
I laughed
beginning.
and joked because from the
beginning.
beginning of that time period, it was fart cans and stickers on
Yeah.
all the cars.
Which
And so
one
it
thing
was
about
silly
this
to me.
movie that I did really like was the throwback scenes. If you looked at them in a vacuum and you ignore all the other
Yeah.
crap that's going on in the movie,
They did a
love
good
it or
job.
hate it, those throwback scenes were pretty entertaining. And actually, this
It
is
was-
partially why it really upset Anthony was they would do this thing where they would show like these throwback scenes.
I
of,
love
like,
seeing Hector
1989
and
drag
Vince.
race with a fox body and a friggin' Mopar, and they're going at it, and you're like, yes, that
I'm
is what we
okay
want to
with
see.
that.
With the young
he was
crew
okay
like
with that.
cast out, like they had
I'm okay
all the
with that.
recognizable
well, it
crew,
would
and
have
you're
been
like,
like
that
it would have been like
would
94.
be. Yeah, when
So,
you really
when
time
that-
it out.
yeah.
But it said 89.
No,
in
that
the
was
thing.
when the race was happening. It was 89. He
Yeah,
had to
the
go to-
initial
he had
race.
to-
Yeah,
you know.
okay, that's right.
Yeah, no,
So,
I would have been
yeah,
fine with that.
That makes
yeah,
sense.
I'm okay with those direct scenes. Anyways, rest of my weekend. Saturday went to the event. Sunday I slept in till like 11 or noon. I was so wasted after that Saturday event. I was just
It drained
exhausted
us.
and
It drained
tired,
us.
and so I slept in pretty late. But then on Sunday, I got one package in that I was really excited about. So I got one of those pressure washer attachments to clean a garage floor, right, or to clean flooring. And so what
Yeah.
it is, it literally cooks right up to your pressure washer handle, and it has little spinning things in it, and it's got your bristles around the outside. And I pressure wash my garage floor, right? This is nice because there's literally no splatter, right?
Yeah.
That water is not going anywhere else other than in that dome thing that it creates. And so I can't remember which one I bought off Amazon. It's black. It had decent reviews. I want to say it was around $40 or something. So I wanted to try that out. So I went through my garage floor, sprayed everything down with some APC, took my pressure washer cleaner thing, and
Yeah.
started scrubbing, getting through.
Nice.
The
I
cartridge
need that.
1700 was enough to run it.
Yeah.
It was. I think it says a minimum of 1300 psi. The cartridge seemed to do fine. I would say if I had a gas pressure washer, oh my gosh, I think those floors would have been clean enough to,
Yeah.
to cut
Well,
meat
'cause,
on.
like I've got a spot where I fixed all the leaks on the Suburban.
Yeah.
That it had been bleeding there, and I need to get that all just cleaned up, all that extra grease.
So what I use is just a brake parts cleaner on the oil spots, and then I went through and then zapped over it with this scrubber, right?
Yeah.
But I went through, did my whole garage, and looked really good. Felt very smooth and very clean. I was super happy with how it turned out. So I was excited about that.
Look good.
And then from there, started to get pretty toasty, obviously. So I ran a couple errands. I went and had to return some things and just kind of hung out around the house. But my water got shut off, right? My irrigation. I think they hit a line again.
Oh no.
So they're doing all this construction on the road kind of down the street from me. And guys, we're literally in 100-degree weather now.
Yeah.
My grass was already kind of suffering for a little while, and I finally got it to come back, and now my water's shut off.
Yeah.
It is so brittle. I stepped on it. It literally just broke in half.
Oh.
So you're gonna have to start watering it with your garden hose.
Yeah, that's what I did yesterday. I literally was just out there yesterday evening,
Here
just
comes
moving
city
around
water.
a little sprinkler thing and trying to get any water on I could. But I'm mad. I'm just upset.
Well, you
The
pride
worst
yourself.
timing. Why would they do this right now?
You pride yourself on your
100-degree
green
weather.
lawn.
Yeah.
Why would you shut off the irrigation? That's literally the worst thing you could do. Oh my gosh, it's frustrating. But no, anyway, I did that, and then the rest of the day was kind of just spent. Again, I pressure washed the rest of my driveway. Literally, I went to the gas station that morning, and I bought like 3 tall boy White Claws, right? And
Get that party started.
well.
They make
Ladies
those?
like, what are you doing today? I'm like drinking these and pressure washing my driveway. so she's
Wow.
like,
Sounds like a
"Oh."
great event.
She's like, sounds awesome. And I'm like, yep, it is. So that's pretty much what
It's
I
okay,
did.
lady. You don't have to try.
And then I built my wife an IKEA furniture thing. So after I finished
How
with the
was
driveway,
that?
Nice.
Building
she got
something
like an
from
IKEA trundle bed
store.
thing.
Yeah, for your
right?
guest room.
And it's one of those. It's a twin trundle bed, right?
slides
And then
underneath
you
the-
slide out the whole thing, and it turns into a king.
Nice.
It's big, dude. And so I've never built anything from IKEA before.
Yeah.
Not anything of like that nature or that big. It came in 6 boxes.
Did she order it?
She ordered it, from
wow.
IKEA. So it's $100 shipping,
Yeah.
right? Flat. But so you get as much crap
As
on
you
that
can.
order as you
Yeah.
want because you won't go over the $100. And
Yeah.
they ship
Yeah.
everything to you on a pallet. So she got chairs. She got like an extra chair. She got
Great
this
idea.
trundle bed thing. So she just stocked up because you think about it, the gas is going to take you to get to
It'll be
IKEA.
$100 in the
Easy.
If not more than in the Forerunner. Plus
Easy.
food.
Easy,
Yeah.
easy $100, right? So that's why this just made more sense to do it this way. So, but 6 boxes, opened them all up, and I just started diving in. Had my Milwaukee,
No, you're Milwaukee.
my Milwaukee, but no, my stubby, my Milwaukee little
Yeah,
impact driver, right?
Yeah.
That thing's like
Put
the
a
best
little
thing.
Allen wrench.
It's so
attachment.
small, it's just
Nice.
bam, bam. It works,
I love
fits
that.
perfect in my hands.
Yeah.
And
Well, you've got small hands. Small.
I don't know. I started putting this thing together. I had no idea what the heck I was doing. The instructions suck. It's just pictures, which is great, but they give you 10 different bolt sizes, and they say, not this one, this one, this one, but this one. I say, well, this one looks exactly like this one. How am I going to figure this out? I don't know. Winged it, right?
Yeah.
6 hours later, this thing is finally put together, right? Threw out my back, picking up one last piece. My lower back's in pain. I'm sitting there like, okay, it looks good. My wife gets home from a dinner she had with her cousins, and she comes in. She says, wow, it looks good. But you're not finished yet, Anthony. You just have to move these boxes and move this, and there's some cups on the counter. And I look at her, and I'm like,
Thanks, I didn't see that.
I just built this thing for you for 6 hours, and, you can't pick up my cup off the counter? Okay, I'm sorry. I love you. I'll just pick that up, move that for you. It's okay. It's all right. Anyway,
Salt of the earth, Anthony.
She was
Salt of the earth.
she got this magic. She got one of those magic crystals that you set out in
good.
the sun. And I said, "Hey, go rub your crystal on you really quick." And
Oh, see, I would have told somebody to sit on it.
to lighten the mood, right? And she
Somebody
came
said
back.
that to me.
She's like, it looks great. She's like, I love it. I'm sorry. She's like, it's just hot outside and I'm irritable. And I said, I
Yeah,
think we're
she's
all
yeah.
hot
Yes. Yes,
and irritable.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
like, we're all hot and irritable right now. And I've been building this damn thing. So she's like, no, it's amazing. I love it. Thank you. So, but I built that thing, and then I can't remember what I did the rest of the day. Honestly, I think I just hung out.
Blacked out. Well, you
sat
drank
on
so
the
many
couch.
wine claws or white
Well,
claws.
I
Wine
did.
claws.
Dang White Claws. But I really need to sit down and watch the Jeremy Clarkson,
The farm?
his
It's a good-
farm.
it's
You need to start
mellow,
watching
but it's
tonight
fun.
with the wife. have a seat, and be like, "This is good."
Honestly,
Carly
it's
fell in
enjoyable
love with
for
it.
people who have no interest in
didn't
Top
watch-
Gear. They can still enjoy it.
Yeah, she didn't watch the first two
Yeah.
episodes. Me and the kids watched it. They loved it. They thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And they loved every time he swore. They were like, because
it's a show where you could do
they loved
that.
But it was funny because they got to learn a little bit. And then
do
Carly
learn.
was listening,
Yeah.
like she'd be in the kitchen doing something, and she'd be, and then you'd hear her laugh.
Yeah.
And then she came out, and then finally it was like, let's just put on Clarkson's Farm.
Yeah.
And she watched it. She hates Jeremy Clarkson, but she loved that show.
It's a more human side of
It's a
him, where
much
he's
more human
still
side.
playing a character, but it's much more
Yeah.
grounded.
But she liked that version of him. She's
Yeah.
like, I like it because it was humbling. Lots of moments
Yeah.
where he was humbled in it.
Being yelled at by a kid,
Yeah.
like
Plus
a
that
third
kid's
his age.
amazing.
Yeah, Caleb. That kid
Caleb's
is
the best.
great.
That kid is
So
the
great.
reason for that series. Him and his
Seriously, watch
dad.
it.
His dad is the even more hilarious. Like that is the best thing ever. So
I'll have to give it a watch. But I guess other than that, though, only other thing I did that weekend was I did take my my wheels down. My BBSs from the Evo, and I brought them down because my tires came in. So I got the Continental Extreme Contact Sports, right?
nice.
Which I'm excited to
Yeah.
rip on. I think that'll be a fun car
Yeah,
to
I think
have
you'll
those
like 'em.
tires on. But I took them down, and they did all four wheels. They said that the bead, it took a lot to get the bead to
set.
pop on them. They had
Yeah.
to bump up to like 100 something PSI, but they got it to set. One of the wheels, they were shoving the tire over just like they normally do. Didn't even pay attention. Got everything home. Went to go put them on the car. I was so excited, right? I'm like, okay, put them on the car. Before I have to do anything else today. And looked at it, and the one wheel that I had touched up recently by Hubcap Annie, they did the lip on it. That was the wheel that they shoved the tire on.
Oh no!
And it took off the paint.
oh shoot.
So their airbrush job they did, their color match that they did, it just took it off. And I was at first I thought maybe it's just rubber transfer, so I took a microfiber towel, a little bit of water, started rubbing at it, dude. It was literally just coming off.
sorry.
Every time I rubbed it, more would come off. So I was upset, but I guess, and people might be able to relate to this too, is who do you get upset? Do
Right.
you get upset to the place that was putting on the tire, or you get upset at the place that did the
Yeah,
touch-up
because
job?
if it was a good touch-up job, the tire shouldn't have affected
Shouldn't
it.
have affected it, right? So that's
Yeah.
where I was like, I'm not going to say anything to the tire guys because they did a good job, and it's not their fault. They were just shoving the tire over, and that's what happened, right? So then I took the wheel back on Monday morning. I said, hey guys, the touch-up job literally fell off, and they were like, well, this is why we don't like to do touch-up jobs, because things like this happen, and it's not a permanent fix, and powder coating is the only way to prevent
You
this.
took my money.
And I said, well, I paid for this hoping that I could still mount a tire to the wheel. So hopefully we can get this figured out. And they were really cool about it. So they said, well, when do you need it by? Because we have a lot going on. We're trying to get out of here for 4th of July weekend.
Of course.
And they give me that. And I say, I would like it done this week. Well, we'll see what we can do. Might be next week.
Okay.
Fine. Fine, I guess. Whatever. So that was it. Levi. what
Oh,
did you
I'm
do?
sorry. So, like you guys, I left Saturday evening hot and exhausted.
Yes.
Ice cold. I went out and started. Pulled a little Anthony maneuver. Went out and started the Suburban. Got the AC running before I got in, so it was nice and cool when I climbed in.
Smart.
Drove home. Got home about 9:45. Hopped in the shower. Took a shower. I think I went to the store and got us some ice cream, and then Carly and I have been watching Succession. So we've been binge watching a couple of those episodes. Sunday, chill day. I slept till 9 o'clock. Got breakfast at Eggman and Earl for the family.
Nice.
Came back, ate that breakfast, sat on the couch, and started to fall asleep. I couldn't see straight.
Oh.
I was like sleep drunk kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I told Carly, I was like, I don't feel good. I'm going to go lay down.
Yeah.
I went back, laid down for about an hour and a half, fell asleep, woke back up at noon, made some lunch for the kids, went back to sleep at like 2 o'clock and took
Yeah.
a nap from 2 to 3.
What was it about
I was
Sunday?
like- I
just
was like I
making
was drugged.
Everybody sleepy.
It was like I was drugged. I was just like, God dang, I can't keep my eyes open. And then finally woke up about 3 o'clock, back to normal. We stayed up till about 1 on Sunday, just hanging out watching TV. I waited till it cooled off. I went for a bike ride Saturday or Sunday night. And I'm still trying to ride every night, but after Saturday night, I was so exhausted I didn't ride.
Yeah.
Sunday I rode at night, and then Monday morning, woke up bright and early, made the kids breakfast, and then put them on the bikes. Hadley is now big enough where she can ride the tandem. So I said, let's go for a bike ride before, just because they need some form of exercise. Getting them cooped up in the house is a little stressful. So, I forgot to tell you, Sunday night, so there's us riding the bikes. Hadley's on the back of the tandem. Augie's riding his bike. It started to get warm. But Sunday night, we introduced the children to Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Great. Yeah, that's exciting.
You guys can go to Twitter and look up Mommy Meme Jeans on Twitter and see Carly's thread about what happened.
Live tweeting.
Carly live tweeted our misadventures with that and our children.
How scared were they?
You got to think back. How old were you when you first saw Raiders of the Lost Ark?
So, okay, Raiders.
I saw it at the Egyptian Theater when I was 9 years old with my dad.
I was about 8.
Or no,
I was about 8.
I saw Last Crusade at 9 years old. I remember we rented or watched it on TV. I saw it when I was 7 or 8 at my grandma's house. We were all there eating pizza and watched it as a movie. So so Augie's 7, Hadley's 10, right? Holy crap. My kids, like,
the effects are amazing in them.
They were freaking out, crying, screaming.
Oh, that's cool, Grant.
Nice. That's pretty rad.
That's really cool.
So it was awful. Needless to say, my kids were like the worst for that. We tried to get them a movie, tried to show them. They were awful. So needless to say, it didn't go as well as we planned. If you guys want to learn the story, go to Mommy Meme Jeans on Twitter. Mommy, MOMMYMEME, Jeans, JEANS, and read Carly's thread. It's hilarious. Needless to say, we'll probably hold off before we finish the movie because we didn't even finish it. So,
oh no! How far did you make it?
We got to where he made it to the room with the staff and got the light shown on.
Okay, so
pretty
far.
Ready. Yeah, pretty far. So,
but it got too scary then.
It was bad.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Temple of Doom's really.
I know. Like Carly and I were like, "Crap, they can't even handle this."
That's the one. That
Hadley literally
left a lot of
turned
kids
around and
scarred.
said, "There's a lot of deaths. I can't believe you guys are showing that to your children." And Carly and I were like, "What the heck, man?"
They're fun adventure movies.
Yeah.
They just happen to have a. Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, Monday I thought, screw it, we're going to go for a bike ride. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to have a great bike ride. And I'm going to try and get all that done in the early morning when it's cold, right? 9 a.m. We go on a bike ride. It got hot. We were on the Greenbelt. It got hot. It did not work as well. So we came back home, changed clothes. We were looking at the time. Carly was going to go do a podcast with a friend, and we were looking at what we could do. And I thought, well, let me take the kids to go look at fireworks. Because Augie has been hounding me. TNT, it's open. Let's go. Come on, Dad, we got to go look at stuff. I want to see
just
what's
have
new.
me drive by your house now. I can give you fireworks.
Yeah. So we go. I pull out, get the kids in the Suburban. As soon as we get in the Suburban, they start arguing over whose seat they're going to sit in.
Oh, no.
Right? Captain's chairs. Dane, what was your seat that you always sat in that Suburban?
I generally sat on the driver's side behind the driver.
Okay. Yeah. So that's usually Augie's seat.
Okay.
Hadley always sits on the passenger side. Hadley said, I'm going to sit in the driver's side today.
Oh.
Augie threw him.
Squeeze me?
So they're arguing. I finally just tell him to sit down because it's hot.
Yeah.
The Suburban was hot inside. Like, I'm trying to get the AC going.
Your brain's not about it.
So I'm like, knock it off, sit down, get in your seats. So they sit down, they get their seats. I go, seatbelts on? Seatbelts are on. We all got our seatbelts on. We're going like 3 blocks.
Yeah.
Right? We're just going to the Albertsons. Yeah. So pull out of the driveway, pull up to our street, turn right onto Harmony, right? Start going. Still, our Augie is still yelling at Hadley about how that's his seat. She doesn't need to be sitting in it. She's the worst sister in the world, blah, blah. Like, just laying into her, right?
Like, what was really taken from you?
Oh, my gosh. So I turn,
what was taken?
right? So I turn, and I go, knock it off. Right? I turn, knock it off, look forward. What do you think is in front of me?
Oh, no. Somebody stopping?
A 03 Chevy Silverado. Dead stop. Dane, it has been 4 seconds since I turned onto Boise Avenue. I grab that wheel, slam on those brakes, grab that wheel, crank it to the right, drive up onto the curb.
Oh, thank God.
It's a good thing you're in
No.
a nice big lifted vehicle. Oh no.
I made contact.
Oh no. Oh,
Anthony, if you look at the screen.
No. I'm so sorry. Oh. Okay. I hope your kids feel absolutely
4
horrible
seconds.
and have learned their lesson.
It's not the kid's fault.
This was yesterday?
Yesterday. I should not
crap.
have turned around.
Take your eyes off the
to
road.
tell them to knock it off. Because I had been going, guys, chill out, Og, chill out. And he just kept going, right? Just kept going. And I finally turned around just to yell at him. 4 seconds, Dane. I drove it yesterday.
That's all it takes.
I pulled out onto my street
can
in
happen
the Elantra
at a moment
because I went to go take Hadley to her therapy appointment. And I drove in the Elantra and I counted 1, 2, 3 from where the spot is where I hit.
You to the right or left?
I turned right, headed towards Timberline.
Oh man.
So I sat it there. All those cars passed, and then I went from a dead stop. 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So, needless to say,
So how'd the other truck look?
I mean, the guy
It was
drove
just
off.
the rear bumper.
Yeah, it was a rear bumper, tail light, rear quarter panel.
Oh, so he drove off?
Side, yeah. No, he was able to drive away.
Oh, okay. I thought you
No,
meant like
he
hit,
was-
hit and run like drove off.
No. He stayed. He's the
Okay.
he's the general manager of the Ram restaurants.
Of all the people you could have
All
run
the
into, are
people
you
that
kidding?
I could meet. Now, he got out and I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh no.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Did you notice that I also?" And he had skid marks on the road from where he slammed on his brakes.
So it was a person in front of him
because it was the
caused
person
the
in front of
incident.
him and the person in front of him. Those people drove off.
Oh, of course.
But
yeah,
it was a crosswalk,
scot-free.
so people slammed on their brakes
When they saw somebody trying to cross
when they
or
saw someone
something?
trying to cross.
Okay.
When there's that many cars, right?
Yeah.
And so anyway, he's like, I thought I hit the car in front of me, but apparently I didn't. But he was.
Hey, did you
super,
tell him that we're a huge fan of the Ram?
Yeah, I did. I said, I am so sorry to be meeting you like this. This is not the way I wanted to, but we take everybody that comes into town to the Ram.
Also, the rag company and a huge text along the side like, everybody look at me.
I think when I was in the shade, it was a little darker.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
point was, we had a good conversation. He's a really nice guy. He was like, it's just an accident. He's like, I almost slammed into the back of that car.
Did you
He's
hit
like,
his rear quarter?
Yeah. So he was like, he goes, don't worry about it, man. It's cool.
But you said it was a Silverado?
Yeah.
So it's a pickup bed.
So it's the pickup bed.
Okay, so
So
that's
it's a bedside. It's a bedside, a tail light, and a rear bumper.
How new
and
was
a
it?
that's still
rear,
expensive.
And a rear exhaust.
But what I'm getting at is that's less expensive to fix than if it were like a Tahoe or a Suburban where it's the SUV and it has the full body attached with
so
it. Yeah.
he was good. He was nice.
Okay.
Officer showed up, said, guys are good, no big deal.
Okay.
I did get ticketed for the accident, but I got a following too close instead of a whatever the inattentive driving one, because that's a misdemeanor. So I got an infraction. Yeah. Not excited about it. Dude, it killed my day.
No, yeah. How could it not? I
Killed my day.
Oh my God! No, I would have been. It would have been. Guys, we've been saying here all day today. Well, Levi took Monday off. Must have been nice, right?
We had no.
That happened at 11:30 on Monday.
To relax and be able to hang out, and you're like, "Yep, sure did,
sure did, enjoyed it. It was great."
Sure
You
did.
did a good job
much
keeping
needed.
that one on the down low.
I
'cause we had
wanted
no
to surprise
idea.
you guys. So
I'm
Holy
genuinely
So
surprised.
crap.
I
that
almost
is-
drove it today because next step is I'm going to go to the insurance. So I already filed a claim on my insurance. Those are a royal pain to replace. That's what I heard, David. So here's my game plan. Taking it down, get my estimate on getting that front end fixed. I'm going to fix it myself.
Oh, okay.
Here's my game plan. Replace them with pre-runner fenders.
This is when it starts. This is when it happens.
Wrap them. I've got another grill. I've got the old grill in my garage hanging up. So I can throw that. I can paint that
The
one.
bumper
throw it-
is the bumpers. I couldn't tell. Is it just the?
The bumper is dented and bent.
Was your hood affected?
Hood was also affected.
Oh, I thought I missed it.
So,
Okay. Oh,
so
yeah.
hood's
yeah.
just slightly
Just a
cracked
hint.
on the corner there. But
How's
headlights,
the
turn
alignment?
signal-
Tires are fine still.
Tires fine. Truck drove just fine. No issues.
So it's just the cosmetic.
It's
bits on
just the
outside
cosmetic
there.
stuff.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking of doing, pre-runner fenders,
Okay.
cowl induction hood,
Oh, big boy.
and I can find a bumper. I got that bumper for $30 off of Facebook Marketplace.
What do you think? Do
So-
you have full coverage on it?
I have full coverage on it.
So do you think that you can get a cash out on it?
That's what I'm going to do.
And then take the money and just buy the
That's
parts?
literally what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I did it on the Elantra when that happened. I just got the quote. They wrote me a check. I used the check to buy all the parts.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do the same thing.
At least it's
with the
not
Suburban.
total, because that's a frustrating thing
Well,
with
I
older
hope not.
vehicles. I hope not.
But the goal is that if I do that, I can get the new fenders, go with pre-runner fenders. So they got the bulge, the bigger, wider tires.
Yeah.
Fit on the front there. Possibly even order like a move bumper,
Ooh.
weld up a fabbed front bumper for
So
myself.
the next time you hit somebody, they're the ones who get ripped in half.
But I'm looking at this as looking at the silver lining
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah.
I can make the Suburban the way I've been wanting to.
Now you have the excuse.
Was the door's fine, right?
Door's fine.
Oh,
It's
perfect.
got a scratch
Yeah.
from the side of the car, but yeah. So point is, it should be it should be good,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping that nothing's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, David, I was looking up how to replace those fenders because we could go to the junkyard, grab a fender and a hood and a front bumper and all that
Like
stuff
today, yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Well, not today because it's 108 degrees
Yeah,
outside.
you wouldn't want to.
But I was looking at it because I was like, oh, I'll just run to the junkyard and pull some fenders. It's you and I with all of our power tools. It would take off one fender, and we'd probably be there
What?
for an hour. It's not hard. It's not easy, and we'd have to find a truck near the shade.
Yeah, pulling on a
So that's the only
Direct sunlight
pain
one
in
would
the
not be
butt
fun.
that I'm looking at where I'm like, that I don't like. So that's why I'm going with the thing of like, if I just get new fenders,
just go for it.
because
Just embrace.
that would be the best way.
Yeah.
So point is, I'm going to take
Turn
it
it into
tomorrow.
a fun thing.
Yeah, so tomorrow at
Yeah.
lunch, I'm going to take it down, get a quote, see what it takes. If that works for the insurance company, then I'll get the cash and I'll put it all back together.
Yeah. No, Grant, that's really
Yeah, that's the
sad.
thing, that, David, that I'm worried about is the amount of time taken off those fenders. That's going to be my longest time suck. So, yes, and G. Davis, you are correct. So, that is
Just had his
exactly what that
sense
is.
as well. Rick.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Wow. All right, working on
yeah.
it.
So that's the biggest thing is just removing the fender. So, David, if you want to come down and hang out with me and help me remove that fender, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
But
Sure,
that's what I'm
there's
going to
no
do.
conspiracy
Well, both
here,
fenders
sure.
technically. 'Cause
Yeah.
you have to do both fenders.
I'm gonna have to take off both fenders.
Oh, yeah.
Take them off. But yeah, there's just a ton of bolts holding that on. There's some inside the door. There's some on the bottom, on the inside, on the sides. It's a lot. So, but I'm gonna take it down, get a quote. Then I'm gonna basically pull it into the garage, and I'm gonna try and start pulling some stuff if I can. At least we've got a camping date in a couple weeks.
Oh.
And where we're going camping. Just up the hill, and I need
Time
the
to
truck
hook the
to
hitch
drive
on the
it.
Camry.
I gotta-
It would look kind of badass without the fenders,
would.
though.
That's what I'm
right?
thinking.
Just that meat, that tire meat.
Just
Just
Yeah.
mud getting flung
So that's
up
what I'm
past.
thinking. If worst case scenario, take off both fenders and just rock
Yeah.
it that way.
We're an open wheeler now.
Yeah. So, but that was my weekend. It
Wow.
wasn't as great as it could have been. And
It was
I have
still
been
exciting.
Sick to death
Oh,
about
no.
what
Grant
happened to
sent me
Ragnarok.
pictures.
Super bummed. But yeah, it's just a bummer. Like just.
Yeah.
It killed it. I still took Augie, still took Hadley to go do her therapy appointment. Augie and I, while Hadley was at therapy, we went around and checked out some of the local TNTs.
Oh, no. That
here's
poor
what
FD.
here's what we found.
Yeah.
The TNT in the Albertsons parking lot on Boise and Apple, small selection. The TNT in the parking lot across from Eggman and Earl in Boise and Apple, huge selection, much bigger selection. Then we found out that the Federal Way TNT up by Columbia Village,
Oh, I know that one.
Oh, yeah.
massive selection
That one's
apparently.
huge.
So I'm going to take the kids probably tonight.
That's where Katie's aunt and her cousins will do the TNT
Okay.
stand over there, so they might be there working.
Yeah, so we're talking. Augie and I want to go up there, but last night I had to make myself feel better,
Yeah.
so I needed something for dinner.
Well.
Sloppy Joe's.
Yokozuna teriyaki.
Ooh.
Oh.
Boba tea, one of my favorite boba tea spots.
Got chicken and steak combo
Oh,
meals.
delicious.
Carly and I, Augie got the kids chicken.
Oh, I got it. What did Carly say about
Oh,
Ragnarok?
she chewed me out left and right, all the way up and down. She even walked over to pick up the kids out of the car. She walked over because I was like 2 blocks from that, not even that, from the house, block and a half. So I was like, hey, just got in a wreck. She's like, really? Awesome. Good job. Great. She was mad at me for about an hour and a half, and then she calmed down, and she's like, I'm really sorry that happened. And I said, and she goes, I just don't want you blaming it on the kids. And I said, it wasn't the kids' fault.
It was.
Like,
I was going to say, don't worry, because I will.
If the kids weren't there,
what I just said
wouldn't have happened.
Let's see, what one of the things,
God
if you took
bless
it away,
them.
would the equation not have
Augie and
resulted
Hadley,
in
if you
this
watch
outcome?
this in 20 years, it was
so
your fault.
Here's what I'm going to
but you're
get.
great
Here's
kids.
what I'm going to get because I realized I can't do this again. This is going to happen again.
You should
It's
get,
going to happen.
No, soundproof headphones. So
No.
you can
Basically
hear them.
blinders, so that
So-
you're not tempted to look back.
Here's what I'm going to get. It's one of the features that I miss on Black Van 2, Legend of Curly's Gold.
Yeah.
It's one of the features that I missed from my van was the little mirror.
Oh yeah.
Push the button, drops down a second mirror for the back seat passengers.
Yeah.
The van had it. It was awesome because you just look through it, yell at the kids from that mirror, and they could see us. And I need to get another little mirror, which is probably something you're going to have to be, shopping for soon. Dane, you're going to have to be shopping for.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice to have those extra mirrors. I'll find the Amazon link, send it to you for in case you
Joke's
need
on
it.
you. Wink mirrors.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what else? I think Hyundai.
But that way you can see that extra mirror in the back and yell at the kids instead of having to,
Yeah. Hyundai or Kia, you have the mirrors. That's a good one. But they also introduced the intercom system like the Honda Odyssey had, where you can literally just yell at them through the front like
stereo speakers. Nice.
setup. And then it goes out in the back speakers.
I would have liked that too. But yeah. So
Otherwise, you need to buy a limo with a partition and literally just roll it up and be like, amongst yourselves.
That would have been nicer.
Do what you'll do. I'm going to focus.
But yeah. Scott says, my mom backed her Acura into my dad's Ridgeline yesterday immediately after I dropped it off from detailing the Acura. Yeah, it's just... It was just a bummer, man. I couldn't believe, like, I literally just.
That's right, G. Davis.
I literally turned around and told him to knock it off.
Yeah.
And then I looked forward and was like, oh, no, and crashed. So it sucked. So
No, G.
All right,
I'm not posting
we're
that
gonna have
next
to
one.
cut this off because we're running
Yeah,
too long. So
we're having
Dane,
fun, but
Dane, take
yeah.
it away. Yeah.
Okay, you've watched us this long. Chances are you're probably already subscribed. But just in case you're not, hit that button. Get that thing subscribed instead of subscribed. Make sure you click it, get it down. And also, click like, because every time somebody clicks like on these videos, it helps us a little bit for the next time. So, thank you so much for that. And also, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes. I've seen a couple there, but I will read them if we get some more. Absolutely. Bring them on, put them out there, and we'll read them on the next Q&A or podcast, just the way it goes. All right, guys. Have a great week. We'll catch up with you on Q&A Thursday on the main channel.
see you guys.